Good morning, good day, good night. Welcome to a series of vlogs made by yours truly, Masked Pangu, as I talk about my day-to-day life and all the ongoings that go around it. Welcome to days that go by, days that feel the same as any other. Welcome to the cycle of insanity. Good day, listeners, and welcome back to a series of vlogs perpetuated by my inability to change and become a better person as my mental health declines. Today, we are now going to be, recapping a bit of the end of last week. Sorry for no updated visuals. I had plans to update the visuals for this week. However, I've had a bunch of personal issues and timing, so unfortunately that will not be happening at all today. Not today, but not just today, but this week in general. So, sorry for that. However, I'm still here, so I guess that means something, because definitely this week, I will be uploading these vlogs at the actual time they're supposed to be uploaded. So, Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah, so without further ado, let's jump into this week. So what exactly happened this last week? Well, the previous day, well, not previous day, 2 days before this upload, which was Saturday, hopefully this is uploaded on Monday, my school had a prom, and then there was a prom of sorts. In that prom, I did not participate, mostly because I do not care for 80%, 87% of my fellow graduating class. I genuinely do not care for them. I found a good majority of them as nuisances and annoyances. Oh, not the same word. Nuisances and what's the good word? Irrelevant? Yeah, that's the word. Nuisances and irrelevant. They're not even, honestly, they cause more trouble than they should, really. So yeah, I never go. I don't really care. I mean, also, that's a waste of $200. You know what you could do with $200? You can invest it into, like, multiple, uh, uh, what's the type of investment? Basically, just invest a bit of it into get a part of a share of a stock, so you can then just profit more. That's more useful. Or buy yourself some food, because sure as hell that'll probably fill you up more than that. Not to mention, probably more people enjoyed the after party that I've heard about. Do forgive any background noise. For I do feel a good majority of these vlogs, starting with this one, will be done outside as I do my daily walk. Yes. So either way, back to yeah. So I found a good majority of prom as very irrelevant. I just don't really care about a good majority of them. So yeah, I ignored it. Never bothered to go. Do I regret it? Hell no. Will I ever regret it? Hell no. I do not like a good majority of the people. And the people I do know, I only know 25 out of the 130, I think it is. So yeah, I barely know any of them. Not to mention, out of those 25, I only care about 18. The only reason I know them is because the only reason I know others is because they're obnoxiously loud and just get everywhere. Honestly. So yeah. There's that. I don't really care about prom, so you may be asking, what did you instead? How did I spend my Saturday? Let me see. I spent every other day, really. I really just woke up, did a light exercise, well, not light warm up, not an exercise. Clear difference between two. Because I really wasn't doing that much movement. I was just moving around my legs mostly to start the morning walk. Did my morning walk with my dog, just like I am doing right now. However, I didn't do a warm up right now, so I'll probably have to do one. Yeah, I need to actually warm up. Well, not warm. Um, Massage, no. Stretch my legs after this, because my right knee has been hurting me a lot more than usual recently. That now stepping is now hurting again, which is just a sign that I might be fracturing completely my leg soon. So there's that issue coming back. Let's see, after I came back from my walk, I helped prep the food for the day, and I literally spent, let's see, I got back around 9, I'd like to say. So I already had my breakfast, which was literally just some frosted flake cereal, if I remember correctly, yes. And then I then spent the rest of the day basically just playing Demon's Souls on the PS5. I like challenging myself. I have now beat the game, while doing that, spending like until like 4 of playing it. So that's around 6 hours, around 6 hours, I'd say, because then there's also lunch and also a bunch of other things. So yeah, I spent around 6 hours playing, and I finally beat the game. And now that I beat the game, I'm gonna do it again, because Demon's Souls is not that hard of a game, no matter what people say. All you gotta do is know the levels, which aren't even that big, and then you could just easily complete it from there. The only issue is now New Game Plus, which is so much harder. Sorry for that abnormal cut. There was just a bunch of barking and a bunch of just human and dog interaction. And honestly, I am very uncomfortable speaking like in a vlog, or I'm just awkward towards social interactions. So yeah, back to what I was talking about. That day, the prom day, I don't care. Do forgive the crude language, but screw all that noise. I genuinely did not care for it, so I just spent the rest of the day playing the game. And I'm basically halfway done with it, because I spent the day playing it. Well, the following day, which is Sunday, which is the day I'm recording, but not the day I'm uploading. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, so with that, I've just been playing Demon's Souls since I've just been grinding out some games. Other than that, oh yeah, I've also been playing Gundam Evolution. For anyone who actually cares, it's just a game I enjoy because it's got a nice team-based shooter, and it's also just based off some games. So it's based off a franchise that I grew up with as well. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying just a series that makes a game that's both good and that's nice fan service with fans. It's also releasing content for the recent Gundam shows coming out. And yeah, that's basically been it. Other than that, I've been playing more Yu-Gi-Oh! Now in my schedule, so I guess that's not just a common thing now. I'll be spending most of my easy days just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With my friends from maybe 1 or 2 classes long. So that's nice. Yeah, and that about wraps up the recap for the week. Yeah, there really hasn't been much else happening around. If I were to think of anything else, it'd probably be watching some shows, and however, due to my very recluse nature, I have been catching up with actually a couple of new shows recently, actually. Those shows are animes because A, they're nice, 24 minutes short, and I like animation more than live action. It's what I grew up with. What can I say? So I guess yeah. Since I already now talked about my weekend, I don't want to keep up the monotony of repeating of the exact same schedule over and over again without the actual background footage, which I was meant to record specifically today. However, there's been a bunch of personal issues, which is the best way I could describe. And I will not be talking about those personal issues today, because look at the time. There isn't much. I need at least a while to explain. And truth be told, the moment I do talk about that, that's for one vlog, I will be changing a bunch of things for the vlog. I already have some backup footage for it. So, keep a lookout for that. If it ever happens, do make sure that no kid watches that vlog. Hold up, now I think about it, I don't think any of you heard what I just said right now because of the loud cars going past. So allow me to re-explain what I said. Basically, I'm saying that my personal issues, my mental and physical issues won't be talked about now because due to a lack of time. So instead, I'll just be saying that in case I ever do talk about that vlog and that old video, will have a what's it called? Warnings, a crap ton of warnings. And a whole lot of restrictions since I am not a professional in talking this. I'm still a goddamn child. So what do I know? What I do know is that talking about it will not cause any good to be done. And if anything, it might be more harmful for myself and others who might listen to it. So for that reason and for that precaution, I will have to be heavily restricting that. So there's that. But otherwise, yes, I shall now talk about a bit of the shows I'm watching. All of them are animes, and they're all based off manga, in which I believe all but one is has a manga to read from. So only one of them is original, so I already know the plot of the rest, but they're still really nice. So starting off, Jiffy Goku. Honestly, it's an anime I really enjoy. It's a neat little story of 20 people, 10 criminals. No, yeah, I think it's around 20 people, 10 criminals and 10 executioners. One executioner is tasked to guarding one criminal, and the criminal is tasked with getting the elixir of life off of an island that everyone who's returned has been turned to plants. And if they acquire the elixir of life and bring it back with the executioner alive, and with the elixir being proven to actually give life and not be a faulty one, then the criminal will be given a pardon for life and be able to do anything they wish to do. Yes. Great series. Main series follows one of the criminals, who is a small ninja boy who is trying to acquire the pardon for only one specific reason. That is, he likes his wife and wants to just spend the rest of his life sleeping in his house, and that's it. And that's Jiffy Goku. It's a very dark series. Don't like the kids watch it. It's very gruesome. But I enjoyed it. It has a bunch of nice moments. There are some comedic characters. Really enough, one of the funniest characters is just a blind man making blind jokes. It's nice. Let's see, next series, Mashal. That's another show that's come out recently. That's pretty good watch. MASH was just about a world. It's just Harry Potter, but the main character is Saitama with no magic. So, well, everyone's like, I can do magic. He's like, I can do 20 push-ups in a millisecond. And yeah, that's just a fun series. He's basically just a jock, and everyone else is just a bunch of nerds with magic. He can just punch through them all. So that's pretty enjoyable. Next series, let's see, what is the other series I'm thinking about? Oh yeah, no, I completely forgot. Yeah, on to the last series that I'm watching is Gundam: The Witch of Mercury Season 2. It's good, though it's also, I'm going to predict, it's already pretty dark just from the end of the first season, and also got to Gundam, so a bunch of the cruelties of war philosophies and all that, because that's what most Gundam shows are all about. So yeah, especially this season, this show seems to be going more about the dangers of cloning and all that. So like the limits and dangers of cloning and regrowing parts. Yeah, it seems to go very dark, especially if one of my theories is correct, which it might. So yeah, it's a good series. Gundam's always like, a majority of them are just good. They're pretty enjoyable to watch. They also have good animation, oftentimes really good fights. So yeah. And that about wraps up this week of vlogging. I have quite literally nothing else to say. I'm basically running off of steam. So with that, I bid you all adieu. And with that, we wrap up this week. Farewell.